So just as we suspected that the plan that Euro, the War Devil, has actually planned on doing, changing Denji into a sword, did not really work from the last chapter. As we continue in the first couple of pages through this chapter, that we see the War Devil is just continuously just saying Denji spinal cord sword towards him as she is not letting go of his head. And at this moment in time, Denji is just like, well, that's a weird way to say goodbye. And he's just playing along with it to the point where he actually put his hand and he says, Aza, spinal cord sword. And he just goes on ahead and dip, not judging her or anything. He just tells her, like, hey, that's a fun way to say goodbye. All right, peace. And you got to appreciate Denji because he just goes with the weirdness. And of course, his whole life is full of weird and chaos. So, of course, he's just going to go along with it. So, while he's gone, Aza and the War Devil are trying to figure out how the hell Denji did not transform into a sword. How come our powers did not really work? Because he seems very interested in us. And on top of that, we found out that Aza starts to develop feelings for Denji. So at this moment in time, Aza's trying to talk to the War Devil and was just like, man, I don't know what's going on. Does that mean that he doesn't really like me? Because maybe the fact that her powers could not really work is because of the fact that Denji doesn't feel the same way as her. Unlike her, where she do kind of feel some kind of way or some kind of feelings towards Denji. So at this moment, she's trying to cap and saying that, well, I don't really like him like that at all. As the War Devil confirming her, like, well, we discovered that we share emotions and affection. So at this time, we're going to try to win this boy's heart while we search for the Chainsaw Man. And at this time, we should go to bed because you barely slept while you were trapped in the aquarium, which illustrated that they have been there for at least the minimum of 1 day while they were in the aquarium. And also, too, since she barely slept and ate, she probably doesn't have that much energy left to go on ahead because she probably used all her energy battling against the Eternal Devil. So before the War Devil was able to be knocked out, Asa asked her, she's like, hey, what's the deal with that girl that was trapped with us? Isn't that your big sister? Which the War Devil finally admits, saying that, oh yeah, that was the Phantom Devil. I haven't seen her in a long time, so I didn't even recognize her. Which I have to say cap, because when she got first introduced, the Famine Devil introduced herself, she was just like, this is probably just a fangirl. But now, since she just kept appearing, it seems as if the War Devil realized that she's not going to get away from her big sister, so she might as well just confess of who she is. Which it kind of showcased that the War Devil probably have some beef with her siblings, and it just kind of showcased how much of a spoiled brat she is. And it kind of just seems that there's some hatred, which would make sense because didn't Makima from Chainsaw Man Part 1, didn't she was using the Chainsaw Man to go ahead and fight against the Four Horsemen? So I don't know if it seems as if that these siblings kind of like hate each other, or the Famine Devil kind of like wants the sisters to reunite, or somewhat. It's just kind of just a weird dynamic of what the War Devil has. And we kind of need to know like why she is not really a big fan of her siblings, because she also stated to Aza, like, hey, stay away from the Famine Devil. Like, whatever you do, stay clear from her. Which Aza was just like, girl, that's your sister. Like, and before Aza even could finish off her sentence, the War Devil just knocked out, which makes sense because the War Devil stated that she is going to go to sleep, and the War Devil was probably tired, but it still doesn't give any answers about the War Devil and her relationship with her sisters, which it kind of showcased that she has a lot of animosity towards her. And we'll probably will find out later on in the series why she feels the same way as she feels. And I meant to say she has animosity towards them, not her. It's just a mistake because we all know the War Devil is selfish and she wants to do her own thing, which is okay. But other than that, we see that Aza, she's actually just thinking of Denji and how much she is irritated by him, because she's wondering if he really meant it, that he wants to go ahead and hang out with her, on like a date. And she doesn't realize that Denji's probably just seeing how things will play out, because he's just probably want to see if they could be friends, or this is someone that he wants to actually have to be his girlfriend. So, she's just thinking, and at this moment in time, she's just confused and she's being irritated because she doesn't know if he's being serious or not. Which the next day, Denji goes on ahead and he's like, hey, I already planned this super date that will blow your mind away, which is that we're going to the movie marathon, and it's all the way up until 2 a.m. and it only costs 2,000 yen. At that point, Ozza was just like, boy, I am not spending all day at a movie theater. Plus, there's a cheaper way that we can do it. I have a VHS. Let's go to your place and we can go ahead and watch a movie all day. And then at that time, that stung Denji like, wait, you want to go to my place? You want to go to my place? And at first, when you start reading this, you probably think that, oh, Denji doesn't want to bring her to the house because, he's shy, because his room is probably dirty and whatnot. But then he says something that threw everybody off. He says that, do you know how to follow house rules? And Ozzo was just like, house rules? She was like, yeah, like who doesn't? He was just like, all right, like, yeah, you got to follow the house rules. If you don't, then some bad things will happen. And she was just like, what's the bad things? Then Denji was just like, in a scenario that you probably might die. And then at this point, Ozzo's just like, wait, what the hell are you talking about? But then someone out here lurking, while trying to listen to their conversation, we see the president of the Devil's Hunters Club. He's trying to listen. He said someone would die? And the chapter just ends because at this moment in time, Denji just threw a loophole, as we all know that Denji is living with the control devil. And at this moment in time, it seems as if that she has total rules and regulations for her safety, but also to her locations as well, which is very understandable because remember, Kashiba told Denji to protect her because everyone is after the control devil. And honestly, if they get a hands of her, they might cause another Makima part 2. And at this point, Denji is raising her so that way she can think of her own, she can handle certain situations on her own. And probably one of the situations with her is that she probably doesn't like strangers, and she probably is not a big fan on people breaking the rules. So she's just probably is telling Denji like, hey, if you bring any guests and they break the rules, then I'm going to kill them. And it kind of illustrates that how Denji's reaction is very, very scary because he knows how powerful the control devil is. And he probably had broke some rules which got him scared at this moment. It's going to be very interesting to see what's going to happen, because it looks like it's a whole big mess that's about to happen. But let me know down in the comment section how you guys feel about this chapter. What's your guys' favorite moments, your thought process, theories? Just let me know down in the comment section on what you guys think. And if you guys do like the video, please give it a like, subscribe, and remember, always be decent. This is the Monotone Man, and I hope you guys have a wonderful day and be safe. And also too, for the people who constantly been asking, where do I get these color panels? They're all over at Twitter. Just hashtag Chainsaw Man, and you'll be able to see most people's artwork styles of these color panels. But other than that, you guys be safe out here. Bye.